Everybody, this is Pun. I have another review for you today. This is a budget microphone, probably the most budget microphone that you will find that is geared toward gamers and live streamers. And this is the Tonor TC310 or 310. This is a USB condenser microphone with a cardioid pattern. It comes with everything that you see here, including USB cable, the microphone itself, a pop filter, and a shock mount. And you can mount this on a mic arm like I have done here, or you can use the included little tripod for, desktop situations. Say if you're on Zoom or something like that and you're portable, you don't want to take a mic arm with you, you have this little desktop tripod, which is nice. The tripod itself has some pretty good weight to it, and it's a combination of metal and plastic. The microphone is mainly plastic. I don't really see any metal on it anywhere. Again, let me remind you, this is $30 Amazon right now, so it's a really good budget price for a microphone. Now, right now I am running a little bit of processing on this. I'll tell you what I will do is I will turn the processing off. So now you can hear raw microphone sound. You can get an idea of what this microphone sounds like. I've listened to it a little bit, and to me, it's very boxy sounding, at least for my vocal. And so the processing does help it a little bit. So what I've done is I've actually added a high pass filter. I've got a cut around 500 hertz, which gets rid of some of that boomy boxiness or honkiness, some people call it. And then I have added a shelf up around 10 kilohertz and up through to, the top end of the microphone to give it a little bit more air. And I could actually probably add a little bit more to that because I really think it helps this microphone for intelligibility, because it is a really kind of a dark microphone. Surprising for a condenser, because normally condensers are a lot brighter sounding. Again, this is a $30 microphone, but will this work for your live stream? I think with a little bit of processing, yeah, I think it'll do just fine. It'll definitely sound better than most of your headset microphones out there, and if you're just going to be using this for gaming, I think it'll suit you quite well. It is a great budget option, I believe. It does come with a lot of features, and let's discuss those right now. So first of all, on the bottom here, you have this rotating control that you can control the brightness of the RGB. Okay. On the front of this is a little light indicator that you can press to change your different lighting modes. There's a bunch of different modes in here for static breathing and all these solid modes that you can change the colors depending on your situation. Also, at the top of the microphone right here, you have a nice mute button that's actually pretty quiet. And the RGB, not only is it there for aesthetics, but it's functional because it gives you the red to show you that you're muted. And it's nice and clear. You cannot miss it. So I do appreciate that a lot. On the top here, this is your gain control for your microphone. This you can also control inside of Windows, but it's very convenient to have this right here. And you can see there's some dots here to kind of give you an idea of how you need to turn this to increase or decrease your volume. So they did a good job with that. The one thing that this does not have that I kind of expect for most microphones of this style is to have a headphone out for monitoring or to be used for as basically like a sound card. You do not have that here. So keep that in mind, as you're going to still need to use a headphone port on your PC, or you're going to need to use some sort of external interface or sound card. One thing that I have noticed with this is it does not do well up close with a loud vocal, and I'm going to demonstrate this right now. So keep that in mind. You may want to turn your volume down, so I'm going to give you a couple seconds to do so, starting now. All right, so if I'm up close talking to this thing, and this is something that, like, if you're a singer and you're singing in the mic, you're going to have a lot of volume, right? Well, all right, I'm going to back off now and talk normal. When you're doing that, this capsule tends to distort, and it sounds a lot like clipping, but it's really not clipping. You're actually distorting the capsule because of the sensitivity. Its sensitivity cannot handle high levels of SPL hitting it. So what happens is when you get above a certain level, its threshold you will actually start to distort this microphone. You can really hear it well if you're monitoring it through, say, like OBS or whatever you may be using. So keep that in mind, that this is not going to work well, I don't think, if you're a singer or if you're using some sort of instrument like an acoustic guitar that has a lot of dynamics to it. This is going to be strictly for somebody that's going to be live streaming and talking at a distance, that is about, say, 4 or 5 inches away, or if they're just talking on Discord and they're using this to game with, which works well, on PC, PS4, PS5, on your consoles. You can use this to talk and use Discord, use TeamSpeak, use your voice chat, and it should sound perfectly fine. For live stream, you can add filters in OBS, or you can use something like what I'm using, SteelSeries Sonar, to process your microphone audio, to EQ it to make it sound better than it does out of the box. But even out of the box, I think it sounds okay. It sounds great for a $30 microphone. I would not try to compare this to a $100 microphone like a condenser, say like the Wave 1 from Elgato, for instance. That would sound, I think, worlds better. But if you're budget minded and you need a cheap microphone to last you for a while until you can afford something better, I think a Tonor TC310 is probably not a bad buy, to be honest with you. And it does come with a shock mount that tends to work okay. Okay, so after listening to that little section right here, let's talk about an issue that I think is a big deal. If you look at where the cable connects to the Tonor here, it is actually very, very close to the shock mount. And it basically, you have basically a stiff, connection right here that could potentially touch this shock mount. So whenever I was hitting the desk, what you heard was where this was actually hitting and touching the USB cable, and then the sound was transmitting through the cable and into the microphone. So that is a big issue. They probably would have done a better job at finding another area, maybe down here lower, for instance, where they could put the cable, because I think it kind of just inhibits the purpose of the shock mount. Now, generally speaking, if you're not banging on something, it will be okay. But I just wanted you to be aware of that. If you're going to be moving things around where this thing could be, shaking back and forth like this and moving, you could potentially cause this to connect with the cable and cause it to, of course, make noise. The pop filter seems to be doing okay. Now, you usually when you're using a pop filter, you're a lot closer to it. But again, I don't want to distort the capsule, so I'm backed away from it. So I don't know if the pop filter is really doing a whole heck of a lot. I'll try this real quick. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. The plosives might still be pretty strong there, even with the pop filter in place. I'll leave that for you to be the judge on. But other than that, if you got any questions about this microphone, make sure you leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer it the best of my ability. But Tonor sent me this microphone for free to do a review on it. And I think for somebody that's starting out and just doesn't have a lot of money, or just wants something that looks pretty neat and, sounds okay, and they can use it in TeamSpeak or in Discord to game with their fellas and have a good time, well, I think it'll suit me quite nicely. So go out there, give it a shot if you want. I'll provide a link down in the description below. Other than that, again, thank you, Tonor, for sending me the mic. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you later.